Welcome to the Global War Watch Network. Before we dive in, please take a quick second to subscribe to our channel. That way you won't miss any of our future updates. All right, today we're looking at a fundamental shift in how wars are fought, and it's being driven by Russia's new industrial-scale approach to drone warfare. It's a change that's so significant, it's forcing militaries all over the world to rethink, well, pretty much everything.
Let's just put it out there, plain and simple. Russia just changed modern warfare, producing 6,000 combat drones every single month to flood the skies over Ukraine. This could redefine the very future of war. And now, that's not an exaggeration. It's the new reality on the front lines, and it has some profound implications for every military and really every nation on the planet.
I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. 6,000 plus every single month. This isn't about a few high-tech precision weapons anymore. This is about creating an overwhelming, non-stop storm of them.
So what this does is it creates a totally new reality for drone warfare. The old rules are changing. It's no longer just about who has the most advanced fighter jet or the most sophisticated missile. It's now about who can put the most hardware in the sky cheaply and consistently. It's become a brutal game of numbers and endurance.
Now, the drone at the heart of this strategy is called the Geran 2. It's essentially Russia's version of the Iranian-supplied Shahed 136, and this part is absolutely key. What started out as Russia simply importing these drones has now been completely reverse-engineered and industrialized. It's become a core part of Russia's own war machine. So the big question is, how on earth did Russia go from just a drone importer to an industrial powerhouse so incredibly quickly? Well, let's break down the mechanics of how they built this drone machine. The epicenter of this whole operation, the real engine room, is the Alabuga Special Economic Zone in Tatarstan. This facility has become the heart of Russia's drone manufacturing. It's reportedly running on a near-continuous 24-hour cycle, just churning out these weapons day and night. You know, Russia didn't just build this capacity overnight. They followed a very methodical path. First, they imported the Iranian drones. Then they took them apart, figured out how they worked, and reverse-engineered the designs. After that, they localized the production at Alabuga, and finally, they scaled it up to the massive industrial output that we're seeing today. And they are not slowing down. They are scaling up, and they're doing it rapidly. They're already hitting that 6,000 units a month mark, and projections suggest they could reach 8,000 units a month, assuming their supply chains hold up. This is a factory-driven war on a scale we've just never seen with this kind of technology.
All right, so this is where we get to the really crucial point. This isn't just about battlefield explosions. This is a war of attrition, and it's being fought with spreadsheets and economics. The financial math behind this strategy is just brutally one-sided, and that is entirely by design.
Look at this cost disparity. It's devastating. A single Geran 2 drone costs at most maybe $70,000 to produce. But a high-end interceptor missile, the kind you need to shoot one down, like from a Patriot system, well, that can cost over $3 million. So you do the math. It's simple, but it is absolutely staggering. To destroy a single drone, it can cost up to 150 times more than what it cost Russia to build and launch it. Even the cheaper interceptors are vastly more expensive than their targets. You see, this economic imbalance is the strategic weapon.
A Ukrainian air defense officer really captured the dilemma perfectly. He said, quote, "For every one we miss, we lose infrastructure. There's no winning equation. It's a complete no-win situation. It's financially ruinous if you succeed in shooting them down, and it's physically devastating if you fail."
So how is this sheer volume actually applied on the battlefield? Well, it's not just about having a lot of drones. It's about using them all at once to create what is essentially a tactical nightmare for the other side. I mean, just try to imagine the scale of a single night's attack. Russia has launched these massive swarms, sometimes with over 700 drones in the air at once. The goal here isn't just to hit targets. The goal is to completely saturate and overwhelm the air defenses. And the logic behind this is simple, but it is brutally effective. When you launch hundreds of these drones at the same time, you completely overload the radar systems. You confuse their targeting computers. And maybe most importantly, you force the defenders to burn through their limited and very, very expensive missile stocks. Even if you shoot down 90%, the other 10% still get through. And the attack has already achieved its economic and psychological goals. And this really defines the new model of warfare Russia is pioneering here. It's an industrial attrition model.
They're using mass-produced cheap weapons to literally exhaust Ukraine's financial resources, their logistical chains, and their military endurance, all while preserving their own high-value missiles for more strategic strikes.
The success of this strategy is proving to be a massive wake-up call for the entire world. It's forcing a major rethink in defense ministries everywhere. Because let's be clear, this isn't just Ukraine's problem. It's a direct challenge to the entire Western model of high-tech, high-cost warfare.
And we are seeing the ripple effects already. You've got nations like India, Israel, and countries all across Europe frantically reassessing their own defenses. Others in the Middle East and Asia are launching their own drone programs inspired by this low-cost, high-volume model. And even NATO itself is now urgently shifting funds to develop cheaper counter-drone systems like lasers and electronic jammers.
As one European defense official put it, Russia has made the drone what the tank once was: cheap, mass-produced, and devastating when used in numbers. Think about that. Just as the tank totally changed ground warfare a century ago, the mass-produced drone is changing the entire calculus of conflict today.
So where does this all lead? Because this is far from the end of the story. The evolution of these cheap, numerous systems is already happening, and frankly, the next chapter looks even more concerning. Let's look at the technological evolution here. Today's drones, mostly GPS-guided, but the near future is going to bring AI-assisted navigation, which will make them much more resistant to jamming. The next step after that is autonomous targeting, with stealth coatings on the horizon to make them even harder to detect. With each step, the problem for defenders just gets exponentially harder to solve.
This brings us to the core strategic dilemma that Western nations are facing. What do? Do you continue to pour billions into those expensive interceptors that are just economically unsustainable against this kind of threat? Or do you pivot hard and fast towards developing new, low-cost defenses like lasers, high-powered microwaves, and drone-on-drone systems?
And that leaves us with this final, critical question. When cheap, mass-produced drones can defeat billion-dollar defense systems through sheer economic pressure, what is the future of war? Thank you so much for your time and for joining us here at the Global War Watch Network. If you found this explainer valuable, please do us a huge favor and like, share, and subscribe. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, so please share them in the comment section below. And join our community on social media. All the links for that are in the description.